Hello everyone and welcome. Nerdstorm here, and this video is going to be a little bit different from a usual MagDK content. In this video I'm going to go over and commentate and try to explain what I am doing in my PvP fights. So we have two clips that I've prepared for today and we're just going to go over them, and I will try to explain what I cast and what I'm thinking while I am playing in these clips. So we're starting up with this 1v5 against these DCs in a tower fight. We're starting it up with this MagDK running in, trying to quickly dot me up. However, he fails to do a lot of big damage, so I just go to the counter pressure, try to dot him up very quickly, and go for the pressure with Flames of Oblivion into Lash. Quickly dot up again, and repeat. Now, keep in mind when I say dot up, what I'm talking about most of the time is basically applying Burning Embers and Engulfing Flames to the target. Note, it is very, very important to also have Elemental Drain applied to the target as well. However, in this clip, I failed to do that pretty badly, mainly due to a stress from taking too much pressure or not keeping it in mind. But it is very important to apply Elemental Drain to your targets as well for both your sustain and their amount of damage taken. So we're gonna continue here. I use a little bit more of the Flames of Oblivion into the Lash, getting that player down, and quickly this mag player comes in. Since I still have the MagDK dots on me, and I'm taking quite a little bit of pressure, I'm just going to go over to the top. I also see more players are coming in, so I'm just going to kite a little bit and run to the top. I see my resource pools are low, so I just take a quick break and try to meditate. And note that right before the player gets to me, I break the meditate by myself. Because if I let the player bash me, then I will lose more stamina than I've gained through meditating. So it's very important to know when to cancel your own meditate and just keep moving and not let the players actually break it and get you interrupted through the cast. So we're just going to go to the top here. I see that I have 3 players on me. One of them manages to fall down. He's really that bad. Only 2 on me, and I see the opportunity, so I quickly go for the dot up, use some Flames of Oblivion quickly before anything else, and then go to the leap on the lower health target into the Lash and quickly finishing him off. Next player is running away, but he fails to heal himself. Like, in that player's shoes, the thing that is most important to do here is to, when you're trying to run away, you also want to heal yourself. You want to keep kiting and keep casting defensive skills. But this guy was just trying to run away and not healing himself. So I just got him with the Lash, or with the Burning here. And honestly, even if I didn't, he would just fall down and die to fall damage. Really important to heal yourself. And speaking of which, this player also fails to heal himself. He fell down through the tower earlier. He climbs back up the stairs, never healed himself. A quick fossilize into Lash into Embers, and the guy is quickly dead. Now, something that in this build is very, very important to keep in mind is we're not trying to spam Molten Whip on enemies. With this Morph of Flash, we're using the skill as mainly a burst opportunity and not so much for the spammable. So what we do in here, and you'll see very quickly after I dot this guy up as well, is we spam Flames of Oblivion very, very quickly, very frequently, because this is our main spammable on this build. We want to dot up the enemy, spam a lot of Flames of Oblivion, and when they are low health or have a good burst opportunity, then we want to use our Molten Whip and try to get the player down, just like here. However, this player is actually fairly tanky, and all he's doing really is kiting around. He's unable to really have an opening on me and actually try to damage me much, so he just keeps running around the walls, kiting, and I just keep applying pressure to him while making sure I can still sustain it. I almost have my leap up, and I have my Lich proc ready, so I know I'm not running out of magicka, even if it looks like I am. I can just quickly leap him and get back my resources. However, frame drops, of course, always is the case. Quickly trying to open up on this guy and finishing off, but more and more players come rushing in. So what we're going to do is we're going to kite to the top very quickly, find an opportunity to try and meditate. And here what I'm doing is, because I realize all these players are climbing to the top of the tower to follow me, I know that I need to kite them very quickly. So I run to the back of the tower, jump over them, and drop down to the 2nd floor. And the thing about this is, players who are inexperienced with kiting around towers are not going to be able to keep up with me. So out of all these, like, 4 or 5 players who are chasing me at this point, only 1 or 2 are usually going to be able to jump over the top of the tower and keep following me down to the 2nd floor. Most of them will just go back down the stairs. That way I'm splitting my enemies up and I have the opportunities to kill them a lot more frequently. Now, another thing to note is, as I fall down, I don't even wait until I land, and before anything else, I just use my meditate. I go into meditate, while falling down, trying to get as much resources as possible. And as soon as my stamina pool is high enough and my magicka pool is high enough, I just break it on my own and look around for the enemies. I see the Templars coming in behind me, and he's alone, so I want to quickly get that player killed before his friends find him. However, I don't quite have the time. They're all ganging up on me already, so I quickly pop a speed pot and run to the top of the tower to try and kite away from them. I drop down to the second floor yet again, and what I do here is usually, since my leap is already up, as you can see in bottom right, what I usually try to do is turn around and leap the players on the top and get them killed right there. Try to target the lowest health player or squishiest player and get them killed on the top. However, since I've already seen none of these guys really bother to heal themselves when they fall down, what I do is I quickly drop to the second floor and I'm ready on my back bar with the dot up to Engulfing Flames. And here's what's happening. If they all drop down, I Engulfing Flame them, bar swap, leap, and lashes to finish all these three players off very, very quickly. This is the tanky MagDK. I know that while his health is low, I need to focus him before he can kite around. So I fossilize him, lash him, dot up again, and one more lash before he drops down. And the last player remaining is trying to kite away from me. I quickly dot him up before he drops off the tower, and then I leap him. He's sadly able to block it and even bash me and get me CC'd, but I quickly fossilize him into the lash, and the player goes down. And that is it for this first fight. Very quick 1v5 in this tower. And for the next clip, we have an open field fight versus a group of DC players. We start up with this Templar over here, gets CC'd very quickly, but we keep pushing in. There's already 4 players starting to amass to try and get us. We quickly swap target to this Magplar because we see he has a lot of strong heals. Leap into Lash, but unable to get him quite yet, and he goes into the Breath of Life. So very, very effective healing, and he's already almost at full health. We keep the dot up, go again for the Fossilize into the Lash, trying to get him killed, but he survives with less than 1k health and 3 Breath of Life, and he's back with full health. Such strong healing. Now here we take a Soul Assault, a Curse, and Power to Light, and we just have to kite really, really quickly before all that burst completely kills us. And as our stamina runs low, we have to kite behind this tree stump and try to meditate and get a little bit of resources. Try to break the meditate before we get CC'd. Sadly, we got CC'd anyways, and once again, we have our resources when we're going on the offense, trying to open up on this Templar, but very quickly he runs away behind another Magplar, so we're going to focus this guy instead. Dot up very quickly into Flames of Oblivion. We're going to try to leap this guy into the Lash, into a second Lash, and the guy goes down. However, we're taking a lot of counter pressure, and we have to retreat very quickly. Well, we have a lot of dots and debuffs on us with the Cursed as well, and Overload light attacks flying right by us. We have to line of sight, going behind these rocks and trying to get a little bit of meditate time, still get CC'd and interrupted, and have to continue kiting around the rocks. So many players attacking us, and our potion is not on. What we're doing here is basically we are seeing, as I see that my leap is ready, I go very quickly, and as you can see in the bottom right now, I have Burning Embers already applied to this player, and the reason I went offensive with the Burning Embers and the Flames of Oblivion, even though I was taking so much damage and having such low resources, is because I realized that I have the leap up, I'm going to use it anyways for the sake of sustain, and I might as well try to get a kill while I do so. So I quickly dot up this guy, go into the leap, and sadly, he is just shy of dying yet again, but we're taking a lot of pressure. Curse, Power to Light again, the sweep going right by us, the Meteor, we have to continue kiting. So we just go on top of these rocks, right at the edge of the rock, trying to make some of the DC players fall down, and we're actually successful at that. Some of them fell down and unable to attack us at this point. So we just gonna regen ourselves a little bit, pop our potion, and go back on the offense. Try to catch these 2 guys on the side here while we can. This player quickly runs away and drops down, so we turn around and focus another player instead, since he's separated from his group. Quickly trying to dot him up, Flames of Oblivion, trying to go for the leap into the Lash. So we fossilize, Lash, and right before we even leap him, we see that he's getting a lot of Breath of Life from the friendly Magplar, so we just go back, meditate, and try to gain a little bit more resources to open up on this group again. We're gonna push towards them. This guy has a bow, and he's a low level, so even though he has 40k HP, he's probably squishy, so we decide to focus him, but quickly he runs back to the group, so we swap our target and take a lot of pressure already. Going for the leap into the Lash, trying to get this guy killed, but once again, just a little shy. constantly with the meteor, with the paralyte, with the curses on us. We have to consistently keep running away, and we have to get our resources back. So we meditate yet again, keep getting stunned, and we keep retreating again and again. Keep in mind the most important buffs in this entire fight is keeping our volatile armor up, keeping our wings on as much as possible to prevent all this range damage from overwhelming us, and trying to meditate whenever we have the chance to. We try to open up on this heal player yet again, but so much pressure with yet another meteor, and we just try to swap our target and go for something that we might be able to actually pull through. So we're trying to dot up this guy, leaping this guy, but yet again we get stunned right before we can actually get him killed. So we have to roll dodge and move away, keep using our defensive buffs, keep using everything in our ability to stay alive, use our potion, and run away and try to meditate. These guys are once again trying to run around the rock, and while they do so, we have our resources up and we're going to open up on them yet again. We're going to focus this heal player because he's low health and he is one of the people who keep the rest of them alive. So we're going to try to focus him very, very hard in here. Quickly going for the dot up, into the leap, into the lash. He's almost dead, but we're taking so much pressure with this meteor, Dawnbreaker, so much dot pressure on us, we just decide to kite and move away. We meditate even though it's in open field just to get a little bit more stamina, which was very, very important in here. So much pressure, we're almost dead, but we only need to hold on until our potion is ready. So we go through these guys, so they have to rotate, turn around to get damage on us. Our potion is ready, and what we're going to do here is potion, dot up on the enemy into a leap, and try to get him killed, but he was able to block the leap. We got CC'd and he Breath of Life himself, and yet again the Templars survive against the MagDK. So we're just going to try to meditate a little bit, get some resources in. These guys are already scared, they're not pushing as aggressively against me anymore, and I'm taking advantage of that. So because these guys are currently like not entirely sure that they want to come and attack me, they are not sure if they're going to be able to kill me, and they're retreating a little bit. So I use that and I go up the hill as they go down the hill, because now even though they can see me very clearly, they can't actually target me, nor can I target them. That gives me the perfect opportunity to meditate and get a little bit more resources before I push back into them. And then we go to the offense yet again, trying to get these guys killed. And this guy misses his Dawnbreaker, and once again tries to go for the heals, but he's not healing himself fast enough, so we're going to quickly dot him up. Use the Flames of Oblivion to try to get a little bit more damage from range. Get Shane to the side, but not swapping target. And once again, we want to focus this guy. Healing ourselves, swapping front bar, going for the leap into the lash. And this guy is finally dead. Popping our potion for a little bit more magicka and focusing this one person who's away from his group. But he quickly runs back and we take so much pressure that we have to give up on the second kill and run away. Just kite it a little bit more. So much dot pressure on us. Paralyte yet again. All the jabs. We just have to run away and heal ourselves. And here we get chained before yet another kill, but we're not giving up. We're going to leap him and lash as soon as he lives his mist form, getting the second Magplar healer killed. Only 3 players remaining at this point, so we're going to go ahead and focus the Sork on the right here. Big damage on him, Fossilize into the lash, trying to get him killed. Flames of Oblivion to attack him while he's far, and buffing up for the lash again, and one more lash got him killed. That was the last guy who actually had some good pressure on me, so I feel very confident to continue pushing on. I'm just going to have to break free here, use my potion, into the leap, into the lash, and getting this Nightblade down as well. And last remaining is this Templar, and he's obviously running away, as he's the last one surviving. And what we're going to do here is quickly try to dot him up. However, he's a little bit too fast, so we're going to fossilize him. And what we do here is actually fairly important. Now, spoiler alert, we're actually not going to be able to get this guy. He is running away from us. But I think that this is worth mentioning. As soon as we fossilize him, we go in between him and the keep, so that he has to think, what do I want to do now? Do I have to run in through this guy, or do I run away? And if he runs away from us towards the rocks, then we have more of a chance to catch him. However, this guy does the right thing and CCs me into the roll dodge past me to go inside a keep, and he manages to survive yet another day. 40k HP, low level Templar manages to survive. So those were the 2 clips that I've prepared for today. However, I'd like to give you guys a few more tips for 1vxing that I want to make sure that you get if you're looking for what you need to be doing better and maybe you're not currently doing. So first, always pay attention to positioning. Positioning is key in 1vxing. Positioning is how you can decrease the amount of pressure you take in or do more pressure to enemies. It's how you can prevent enemies from doing actions you don't want them to do, like running away from you or getting closer to you to be more aggressive with you. You can use your positioning to manipulate the fight towards your advantage and take advantage of the area around you to help you out, which many players, usually the players you're axing, are not going to be able to do very successfully. 2. Prioritize your own health and resources over focusing down enemies. Now, this is very, very important. Unless you are absolutely sure you can kill an enemy player and get to full recovery from it, you shouldn't be focusing that player. If you see that you are at a risk of dying, then it's a lot safer to heal yourself up and find the next opening when you can get an enemy player killed over risking it all and trying to kill that player. And same goes for if you're running low on your resources as well, because running low on one of your two main resources and you can just go ahead and get killed right away. So very, very important. This is why you saw me throughout these clips all the time. Like, there was a target that was really, really close to death, but I just gave up on it and I didn't chase it down. That's a very common mistake that people do. You do not want to focus those players down if it means risking your own life. In the end of the day, if you're able to kill 5 players before you die, then your life is more valuable than those 5. If you sacrifice your own life for a chance to kill one of them, you're not really 1vxing, you're just getting one player killed and then die yourself, and that's not really worth it. 3. Make sure your defensive and offensive buffs and debuffs are always consistently up and not just, spam your damage or heals. It is also a very, very common mistake that I always see new players doing. Like inexperienced MagDKs, you would always see them go and spam Flame Lash or Molten Whip or just spamming their coag when they're taking damage, and they don't understand why they always run out of magicka and are never able to do enough pressure to someone, never able to kill anyone, or even take more damage than they're actually able to out heal. And really, the big mistake that people are doing is not prioritizing their buffs enough. If you have a buff that reduces your damage taken from ranged projectiles by 50%, then it's better to use that and then keep healing yourself when you're taking a lot of ranged pressure than just spamming coag non-stop. You might get slightly more health if you just spam your coag, but the amount of damage taken will also keep being very, very strong. And then you will give your enemies more opportunities to actually kill you. Super, super important to always keep your buffs and debuffs up. That also applies to attacking enemy players, keeping that major breach on your enemy, keeping your dots running on the enemy. You're not going to kill any decent player by just spamming your spammable at them. Never going to work. Number 4 is prevent enemy resurrections. This is something we haven't seen too much throughout these 2 clips, but usually it's really, really important in 1vxing. In the end of the day, when you are fighting the kind of players who would X you up anyways, those players would usually prioritize resurrecting their fallen friends than actually attacking you. And if you have a lot of them, then some of them might still attack you and some of them might try to res their friends. So if you are, say, fighting around a tower and you go to the back of the tower after you killed one at the front, then while the majority of players might still be chasing you, it's enough that one of them stays behind and resurrects that player, and they will be able to get one more person in the fight and increase the damage done to you, increase the pressure you're taking even more. So it's always important to prioritize preventing those resurrections over killing additional players, because you're not guaranteed to kill someone with your burst rotation, but they are guaranteed to get that player back up if they just finished their one channeling effect. So usually after you get one kill, if you feel like you're able to take on the rest of the enemy players, try to stick around, or at the very least keep that dead corpse in your field of view so that you're able to interrupt the resurrection channel as soon as you see it, and always try to prioritize it as long as you can afford to without breaking tip number 2, which is, not risking yourself when you're about to die. So this was my first MagDK commentary and 1vx tips video ever. If you guys stuck around this long to hear me talk right now, then I hope you enjoyed the video, or at the very least learned something new and found some value in it. If you did, please let me know by liking the video and writing it down in the comment section down below. I'll really, really appreciate that. Obviously, making this kind of video took a lot more effort than just slapping some music on my usual gameplay like I tend to do in my 1vx videos. So while I would love to make more videos like this, make a lot more different kinds of guides for how to play MagDK and how to 1vx in general, maybe about how to manage resources or positioning, etc., etc. While I'd like to do those take a lot of time and effort, and so I would love to know if you guys found this kind of video helpful and if you'd like to see more of those. Otherwise, it would be a lot easier to just, make the usual kind of videos and not put all this effort for nothing. So please do let me know. Also, if you guys like and enjoy my content, you might like to know that I am currently working on trying to do this full-time or at least part-time as a job, and I'm working towards it. It'll take months and maybe years, but I'm working towards that. So any kind of support that you guys are able to do would help me a lot in progressing towards that goal, and that would allow me to create a lot more content for you guys and upload videos a lot more regularly. When I'm saying support, I don't mean anything financial. I'm actually just meaning, go ahead and share this video with your friends and communities if you can. Let me know that you enjoyed it, and feel free to subscribe and check me out on Twitch as well. I live stream my 1vx's and my PvP gameplay several times every week live on Twitch. The link for that will be down in the description below. I tend to also do commentary as I 1vx live on the stream and answer people's questions about builds and gameplay in general. So please check that out. That'll be a huge support to me, and please make sure to share this video with your friends who might also enjoy it. I will also link down below my Discord and Twitter accounts as well. If you guys would like to join my community Discord, this is a great place to see all my content and discuss anything ESO related with a lot of people with the same mindset as you might have. And I also will link my Twitter down below. I do ESO giveaways in there every now and then, so you might want to check that out too. If you guys stuck around this long through this rant, thank you very much. I really appreciate you enjoying my content and viewing it so regularly. And seriously, big shout out to you. Thank you so much. And until I see you next time in the next video, good luck 1vxing.